Hello, hello. Nothing? Nothing. We're not doing well right now. What's my mute button now? You got it? Because I don't see.
No. Now I hear you.
You got it?
Can you hear me?
Barely.
You got me now? You got me now? You got me now?
Hello. I got myself.
I guess we're both sharing the mic.
Welcome.
Welcome, everybody, to the Eagles Nest Showcase. We are experiencing some technical difficulties. If you guys can't already tell, with us speaking into the microphones and our headsets trying to get everything squared away. But welcome. It's going to 13 games of hockey start with tonight with Wyoming Cowboys against the Santa Rosa Junior College Bears. It's going to be something really fascinating to see here. Two teams that I haven't had the privilege of seeing. I know Gary had the opportunity to see Santa Rosa last year, so he might be able to give me a little bit more insight to how Santa Rosa is going to play this game. But it's going to be really fascinating to see how everything unfolds. As Wyoming dumps it into the zone. Wrister from the outside, blocked away by Santa Rosa. Santa Rosa attempts to clear. Wyoming's able to keep it in. And Santa Rosa brings it out to center ice. Wyoming picks it up and dumps it right back in. Cooper has it as he brings it into the Wyoming offensive zone. Lovely deke there. Saved early on by Will Cornelius in net for Santa Rosa.
How you doing, Blair? Well, how you doing, Blair? Pretty good.
I'm all right.
Okay, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. you asked about Santa Rosa last year, if I remember them correctly. They're more of a slow down pace. They're more methodical than Eastern, but I'm intrigued by Wyoming. I've never seen them at all, so I'm really fascinated to see what they can do.
I know the Cowboys have kind of struggled early on so far this season out in the Mountain West Conference for ACHA, going against the likes of Colorado, Denver. Right now, I think they're, if I can't remember correctly, 2-7 on the season with the 9 games they've played so far in their league. It's really fascinated to see what kind of game plan they try to utilize and go from there. The Santa Rosa has it, brings it in. Rister from the outside, saved by Crawford. As Wyoming brings it into the offensive zone. And scores! Wyoming out to an early lead. Not even 2 minutes in. It is 1-0 Cowboys. 18:03 remaining in the first period. Gary, what'd you see there?
Well, I saw Goff. He brought it up from the near boards. He just did a couple dekes around Santa Rosa's defenseman and just snuck in on the goalie. Actually, I don't think Cornelius was expecting him to cut behind the net. He thought he was going to go in front, and he just snuck it in between the post and the pads on that one. Nice play by Goff.
As the Cowboys win the face-off here. And once again, everybody, with our little bit of technical difficulties we're having, we'll try and give you as many updates with the scoreboard, with the time, as much as possible until we can try and get, hopefully, everything squared away for you guys. Santa Rosa brings it in there. Wyoming picks it up. Santa Rosa brings it out. Centering pass, stick to side by Crawford. And the Cowboys try to clear into the neutral zone. Wyoming dumps it in. I believe they called an icing there, it looked like.
That was a quick goal for Wyoming with 17:26 left in the first period. That was really fast on their part.
And it came out of nowhere. It was just one as Goff brought it in. Felt like he was just trying to make a quick move and maybe send it around the boards, and they got, like you said, quick backhand. Surprised Cornelius for sure, and I think it caught him off guard and beat him right there at the near post.
Yeah, there's no question. I think Cornelius definitely thought he was going to go around the net because he had one of his fellow players cutting toward the net. I think Cornelius thought he was going to go behind and dish it out to him. He just did a nice job of sneaking it in.
Wyoming picks it up and brings it the other way. Santa Rosa picks it up and dumps it back into the Wyoming zone. Something that I've kind of picked up so far early on. Both teams are trying to almost go with a longer type pass to kind of set up their offense a little bit on their side of the blue line, and then trying to get a little bit of a quick break early on, kind of feeling each other out with that.
Well, there's nothing wrong with experimenting in the first 5-10 minutes, trying to figure out, okay, what do you think will work for you? They both did some stretch passes on that. But it looks like Wyoming's trying to stick handle more also, along with the stretch passes. They're trying to bring it in, and because that's another one by Stone. He tried to carry it in by himself and then waited for his Wyoming teammate.
Potential opportunity here for Santa Rosa. Looks like it's going to be a potential tripping call on the Cowboys.
I don't think it's potential.
There will be a penalty on the Cowboys. Santa Rosa will be on the power play. Let's see who's going into the box here. Looks like it was number 20. That's Everland, it looks like, going into the box.
Well, now we can take a good look to see what Santa Rosa can develop off of this power play.
No, excuse me, Furland. Excuse me. Wyoming picks it up shorthanded. Tries to wrister pushed aside. Love how he used the defender right there, almost as a screen on the goaltender. Another opportunity saved away. And that wrister sent high.
Well, obviously, the Cowboys are not afraid to attack, even though they're shorthanded. You would think they have the power play right now, the way they've been attacking Santa Rosa. Cornelius done a really nice job. I have noticed one thing after you talked about the stretch pass and opening up. I think Wyoming's really trying to look for those rebounds now, and they're really attacking the net. And Cornelius has given up a few of them, so I don't know if they picked that up earlier, if they knew something in advance.
Rister there, blocked by the Bears. Rister out in front, saved again. Feels like Wyoming's the team on the power play right now, even though they're a man down.
No question.
Dictating the pressure.
No question about that, Blaine. Absolutely none. They are looking to attack.
One thing that I am curious about is that Santa Rosa did fly in today. Wyoming flew in last night. Kind of intriguing to see if Santa Rosa is still trying to get their bearings a little bit, while Wyoming kind of had that extra day to prepare a little bit, traveling a day early.
And there's a lot to be said for that. It really is. When you fly in the same day, you got not so much jet lag, but you kind of get your bearings. And if you're here an extra day, that really helps settle you in.
Cowboys pick it off, neutralize. 30 seconds left on the Santa Rosa power play. Another potential shorthanded opportunities sent high right there by the Cowboys. Wyoming continuing to press early on, looking for a second. 15 seconds remaining here on the Santa Rosa power play. We're about 6 minutes in, Gary. If you're the Santa Rosa head coach, they're really struggling to settle in and even find any kind of rhythm in this game. How do you try to approach that as a coach?
I would say what you try to do is sit down and just play positional hockey until you can kind of feel out Wyoming a little bit more. That was a nice deke. That was by Petros from Santa Rosa. But that's what I would do. I would just kind of go back to basic hockey, get yourself settled in, try to ride the first period out, and then start game planning what you want to do, because what you're looking for is what Wyoming's going to do to you. And right now, Wyoming looks like they're going to attack, so you can counteract that. But just ride this period out and get your bearings. Basically, that's the best way to do this.
Santa Rosa brings it in, swings it around the boards, out in front, pushed aside there by Crawford. Look for a centering pass. The Cowboys pick it up and bring it into neutral ice. Dumped back in right on to Cornelius, and he covers it up.
12:58 left to go in the first. One thing I have noticed with Santa Rosa, they're going to have to pick up their forecheck and back check a little bit more. Wyoming's taking advantage of that because they're not really picking them up until they're in their zone. And that goes back to possibly flying in today. I'm a little bit tired, but they definitely got to pick up, no question, their back check, but their forecheck would help them also.
Santa Rosa has it. Wyoming continues to keep it in. Swedlin picks it up. Great centering pass there. Opportunity out in front. That was a great save out in front by Cornelius. Sprawled out there, able to get a little bit of a poke check just to, because they had an empty net if that pass gets through.
Oh, yeah. Cooter was sitting there waiting for that puck, and Cornelius did a nice job of poke checking it actually basically away from everybody, or it would have been a wide open net for the Cowboys.
Cowboys send it back in. Potential wraparound opportunity. Backhand blocked there. Santa Rosa picks it up and sends it down. Looks like this will be an icing, and it is.
And see, and that's what I was talking about. Just settle down and play positional hockey. It looks like Santa Rosa is just trying to figure out what do they want to do with the puck. They went back to basics, just get themselves lined up in their spot. They'll do a lot better. And rather than chasing the puck, just settle down. It's just start playing some basic hockey for the next 12 minutes.
Well, so we're about 12 minutes remaining in the opening period with the Cowboys leading 1-0. One person that's already caught my eye for the Cowboys is Ethan Swedlin, number 94. He's probably already had 6 shots on goal early on already, being totally dictating the pace of play for the Cowboys.
And he could be their main playmaker, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm looking at also Bila. He's another one that's out there, and he looks like he is leading the offense also. So it'll be interesting to see if they won. But Goff really has caught my eye. He is sharp. He is quick. Likes stretch passing for a D man. That he definitely thinks offense.
Santa Rosa swings it around the boards. Tries to clear. Wyoming poke check, keeps it in as they dump it around and the Cowboys make a change. Santa Rosa has it behind their own net as they try to regroup and set up their offense.
I do like what Wyoming's doing. They start off with a 3-man attack at the blue line, forcing Santa Rosa to make a play early. They're trying to capitalize on any bad passes that they have. That's nice playing by Wyoming.
And then they have their 2 defenders just in between the red line and their own blue line, almost to dictate the neutral zone. If they get that pass through, that they're going to make a check right there to make sure that they don't get in. Santa Rosa doesn't get into their zone.
Yeah, I think that's their transition. They keep their D-men right in between, like you were saying, the red and blue line, waiting for their forwards to see if they can make a play. If not, then they attack from that zone, and that's working.
Opportunity in front for Santa Rosa. Looks like there's going to be a penalty here. Will it be a penalty shot? We shall see.
It'll be interesting.
Wonder what the call is going to be.
He's going to call him a hook. Could have been a hold. Could have been a hook. I'm surprised they're not thinking about a penalty shot because he was in all by himself if he didn't have done it. And that's a good penalty by Wyoming, but Santa Rosa, I would think, would be a little bit unhappy on not getting the penalty shot.
As that was number 3, Chris Means, who's going into the box for the Cowboys. That was almost like a desperate check right there that he had to try and make a play on the puck.
He had to. If not, the Santa Rosa player was right on top of him. He had a clean break, and that's why I was wondering if they were going to go with a penalty shot on that one. 10:22 left in this first period. It's been a quick period, actually.
Very free-flowing hockey, and early on, the Santa Rosa netminer, Cornelius, has really kept them in the game, even though he gave up that quick early one. I don't think that, like we both agreed on, we didn't think that was going to happen, how the play unfolded. But he's been sharp ever since that, really been on top of his game, already with 9 saves.
And I'm wondering if that late arrival here, because he's settled down, and the rebounds aren't happening like they were in the first 5 minutes of this game. I think he's getting his bearings now.
Brought in there. Wyoming, Swedlin has it, brings it out, and resets for the Cowboys as they are on the penalty kill here. Minute 20 remaining on the Means penalty.
Swinlin's another kid that's really quick for Wyoming. Oh, nice.
Poke check down on the goaltender, picks his pocket, and they capitalize. Goal for the Cowboys, shorthanded. That was Hart. Cornelius a little bit lackadaisical there with the puck, and he paid the ultimate price.
Yeah, that was be one he'd want back. I think he misjudged it, and then when he tried to poke check it went by, and his defenseman didn't help him at all. He was just kind of standing there watching the play, and a nice job by Wyoming jumping on that. But I think Cornelius definitely would want that one back.
Santa Rosa wins the faceoff as they're still on the power play, about just over a minute on the power play as they now trail 2-0, about 9:20 remaining in the first period. Centering pass there, picked up by the Cowboys, and they bring it the other way. Cooter leads the break. Opportunity, great poke check there by the Santa Rosa as they're able to reset here. Oh, picked out in front, sent just wide.
So if you look at Santa Rosa, they look like they want to stretch it. They have 2 forwards. When they were in their zone, they had them all the way up to the blue line of Wyoming, and actually there was no Cowboy by them. So I'm wondering if that's not how they're going to try to play this.
Miss pass there. Here comes the Cowboys. Little one-on-one opportunity. Covered up.
I wasn't sure if that was in or not. Because
I
the way
don't.
Cornelius,
yeah,
he looked behind him.
He thought. I don't think he thought he caught that.
Nice
He definitely
leg pad.
did a quick double take right
Yeah,
there.
that was a nice leg pad saved by him, but he was second guessing it. But you got to tip your cap to the Cowboys, man. They've just decided to play offense tonight. They're winging it right now offensively.
And they're pressing Santa Rosa extremely hard, which makes it difficult for them. Even now, as the power play ends and both teams are back to full strength, you can tell that the Cowboys are really. Oh, what a wrister there! I believe that was Petrus from the circle. Gets Santa Rosa on the board, beats Crawford top shelf.
That was an outstanding shot by Petrus. If that's, and I think you're right on who got that. That was tremendous. What he did was he got the puck, and he did it. He floated in between the red lines in the top slot and top shelf gone. That was a nice play by him.
And a goal out of nothing cuts this deficit in half for Santa Rosa, and they're now down 2-1. 8 minutes remaining in the opening period. Hopefully, I wonder if this is going to give them a little bit of life here, finally giving them an opportunity like, all right, we've settled in, we've got one on the board, let's play.
Well, I think their footing. They've settled in on their footing, and now they're starting to, like I said, they're doing some stretch passing, and they're trying to. They just right now the only thing they need to do is corral the puck more in their zone, and we'll see how they attack. But right now, Santa Rosa definitely looks like they're getting their game going.
Wyoming probes here as they pass around the boards, looking for a potential centering pass. Sends it back around. Opportunity out in front, blocked there. And a little bit of a souvenir, potentially.
Well, I definitely think Santa Rosa, they're getting their offensive attack going, and now it looks like they need to settle in a little bit more on their defense, especially in their zone, because they're chasing the puck around, and right there, the Cowboys did a nice job of cycling, and they had an easy shot in the middle of the slot, and they need to just kind of get their bearings on defense, and I think Santa Rosa is going to be a strong opponent. And that could be because of the Cowboys are not letting up in their zone. They're forcing Santa Rosa to do something when they're not ready to do it, and that's why they're getting a lot of turnovers.
The one thing that I've noticed so far is that they're really rotating who's the person that's trying to get in front of Cornelius's line of sight, and then that next person floats out closer to the blue line and then makes a dart pass when the puck gets into the corner. A dart to the center of the ice, gets that little center pass, gives them an opportunity out in front. I've seen that a couple times already.
Well, they're working low to high, and that's why they're getting that one guy in the slot that's wide open. And you're right, they're sending a guy right in front of Cornelius, which I think is really kind of bothering him a little bit because he has to look around the player, and that affords them the opportunity to slide that guy in the slot.
Petrus has it, tries to send it around the boards. Picked up there.
And Petrus is a good hockey player. He has definitely caught my eye from Santa Rosa.
One of two Petruses on the roster, too. Ironically enough.
Toby's the one that's caught my eye. Maybe the other Petrus hasn't too, but Toby's the one that really has my attention. They're going to have to focus in on him. The Cowboys are going to. Nice stop by Cornelius on that one. Like I said, Cornelius is settling in pretty well right now. His rebounds aren't there anymore. I just think that second goal he would like back. But beyond that, he's faced 14 shots. He's really doing a nice job for him. Good to see Travis Allen come up telling us we're number one. That was nice. That's good.
He's just trying to make us feel better.
That's right.
With our technical difficulties.
That's right. We're still working on that, but we're not getting far with it. But we're going to get it yet.
It's a work in progress, everybody. But it's 2-1 here. Cowboys lead. 5:57 remaining in the opening period. Face-off won there by Santa Rosa as they try to send it around the boards. Cowboys are able to keep it in.
And it's always tough to play that first game in a showcase for any team. The only one that might adjust is Eastern because it's their showcase. But most of the time, the out-of-town teams take a while to settle in on the rink.
Try and get a feel of how they want to play. A little bit more of a... Yeah, you're right. And sometimes the ice is cut a little different at different rinks. It's always something that they need to figure out as well, too.
Boards will be different, so their bounces are a tad bit not what they're used to. And so that's usually that first period is a feel-out process.
Cowboys bring it in. Opportunity blocked there by Santa Rosa, and it goes just wide. Cowboys try to keep it in. Poke check there by Santa Rosa by Zerby, and he's able to, but the Cowboys are coming right back in. Lovely little pull there off the crossbar and goes in. That was Cooper. Lovely little move there. Brought the puck back, sent the defender flying by, and hits the wrister top corner on the glove side.
What made that work for Cooper, he did a nice toe drag, and he threw everybody's timing off on that one, and he went in on Cornelius and top shelved. A nice play by Cooper on that one. Really nice toe drag on his part.
4:52 remaining. It is 3-1 Cowboys.
I was going to ask you, since you've been here all day, did any of these teams have a practice session today? Do you know?
We had a couple teams have a practice this morning. It wasn't Santa Rosa or Wyoming, though. Santa Rosa is going to, from what we've been told, they're going to try and get a practice in tomorrow morning. But they did not get a practice in today, no.
So usually a lot of teams, if they can, if they're here early, they'll get a practice sheet in just to get used to the rink and get the feel of the rink. And since the Cowboys were here a day early, I'm surprised they didn't take advantage of that.
Utah Valley, though, who's in our next game in this showcase, they did get a practice skate in. So that'll be interesting to see how they unfold and adjust to the ice against Eastern. And that's in our nightcap, everybody, at 7 o'clock.
Well, Utah Valley's been here, so that's one thing that got going. But, yeah, that'll definitely help them settle down because they're used to the rink.
Yeah, which made it fascinating that Wyoming came in a day early, didn't get the practice skate in, haven't been here before. I think they're the only team that hasn't played here before, so that was one thing I thought it was interesting, but they haven't missed a beat whatsoever.
No.
It's felt like their home ice.
And I was surprised with the record you told me of them because they look like a pretty darn good hockey club. And so I don't know how strong that league is they're playing in, but they're a pretty good hockey club. And Santa Rosa, I think we'll see a whole different team come second period. They'll get used to it since they were here last year. It took them a little bit to remember how it is here. I think you'll see a different club.
Wyoming continues to probe. They're able to keep it in there just on the blue line. Santa Rosa dumps it down. That should be an icing in. It is.
There's absolutely no question in my mind. The Cowboys, that's part of their attack. They're going to put someone in front of Cornelius. They want to block his vision as much as possible. And if you watch, he's having trouble, especially on some of the guys that they put in front to look around them. And so don't be surprised if Wyoming goes backdoor on him just because they're trying to make him move one way. And if he does, that'll be wide open on the far side.
Opportunity there. Just missed opportunity by the Cowboys as they bring it back around. Puts aside there by Cornelius. Out behind, scrum behind the net. Cowboys are able to pick it up. As they probe at the right circle, put it up on Cornelius Rister, and he smothers it up. really interesting how this game's unfolded. I mean, it's only a 3-1 game, but it's felt like Wyoming's really dictated from start to finish. I think Santa Rosa, if you get into the intermission here, only down 2, I think that's almost like a mini victory with how Wyoming's really dictated play.
Yeah, they should feel really good if they can go in only 2 down. Of course, you look at Cornelius, he's standing tall for them, and so that'll help settle them in a little bit. But I think now it's just surviving the next 2 minutes and 38 seconds for Santa Rosa.
That's going to be an offsides call there.
Well, one thing I noticed Wyoming does a lot, they like to send their defensemen in. You got Hernandez, you got Forland and Goff. They're constantly looking to attack, and so they're almost sending in 4 players, actually, when you look at it, because that's part of their attack. There's no question about it, at least in the first period.
No, I agree. That's something that's caught my eye as well. And we've seen that with a couple teams that we've seen so far this year. Utah's done something that's very similar, really pressing, as well as I can't think of the other team right now. Off the top of my
Montana
head.
did.
Montana, that's right. Montana did that very well last week as well.
And actually, UW is another team that likes to float their defensemen in. So a lot of teams are doing that this year compared to last year that I could see, which makes sense. This puts a lot of pressure on your D-men.
With how much I feel like that's honestly helped them, though, with how they've almost kind of dictated play. That was an opportunity for Santa Rosa. Stretch pass as Wyoming brings it back in. Tries to make a play there. Swings it back around. Rister covered up by Cornelius once again.
The rebounds have definitely dropped drastically for Cornelius right now. So he's getting really comfortable in that, and he's going to have to. He's got 18 shots on him right now. Until Santa Rosa can get their footing, he's going to have to backstop them. But he's doing an outstanding job tonight.
And he's starting to cover the puck a lot, giving his team a little bit of mini breaks.
And that's important with flying in today. Most of the time as a coach, you're always worried about that first game when you're out of town, because just fatigue alone until you get going can really hamper you.
Just about a minute remaining in the opening period. Gary, we've seen 19 minutes of hockey. You're going into the intermission. What do you do for both teams?
I wouldn't change much for Wyoming right now because it's working well for them. They're definitely on the attack. Santa Rosa just has to play a little bit stronger in the defensive end. Their offense is starting to click, but they still can't quite get themselves set in their end to come out and attack. And so I would really zero in on that if I was Santa Rosa. Okay, what are we going to do? What have we got to do different against Wyoming? We know they're going to attack. We know right now they're basically sending 4 players in. And that's where the neutral zone will come in. That's where if you can start stretching them out, playing positional hockey, you can break that pretty easily. But that's the only thing I can see Santa Rosa really needs to zero in on, because now their forecheck is getting better and their offense is getting set up. And I'm not sure what the problem is right now.
Well, they called an icing, and it looks like...
And it wasn't.
It looks like there was an overrule there, so it's going to be a nice little face-off at center.
Hats off to the officials for picking that up and rectifying it.
It's about 40 seconds remaining here. Picked up by Swedlin as he brings it in for the Cowboys. Rister hits the post after Cornelius saves it.
Well, it rolled up on him. That's what happened with Cornelius. He did a nice job of stopping it, but it just got away from him and almost rolled in behind him.
Santa Rosa tries to clear. Cowboys to keep it in. Swedlin right there. Pushed aside by Cornelius. Another opportunity. Cornelius smothers it up.
But now that you mentioned, I've noticed Cornelius is doing a lot more of that, is slowing the play down, which is going to help Santa Rosa trying to get out of their end. And that's heads-up hockey by Cornelius for doing that. Let them set up a little bit more rather than this hurry-up style Wyoming wants them to be in.
Wyoming picks it up. Shot there from the outside, deflected, sent just wide. Santa Rosa sends it around the boards. And that will be the opening period. A early offensive spree by the Cowboys. They lead 3-1 over Santa Rosa. Stay tuned for the second period. Hopefully we can get these technical difficulties squared away.
Welcome back, hockey fans, to the second annual EW Eagles Nest Showcase. First game right now is featuring Santa Rosa Junior College and the Wyoming Cowboys. It's 3-1. The Cowboys. We're still having some technical difficulties. We're still working on that, so I apologize for that. So we'll do the best keeping you up to date on what's going on. I'm waiting for our play-by-play man, Blaine Spencer, to join me. My name is Gary Allen. Puck is in Santa Rosa's end right now. They're swinging around the boards. What I'm looking for out of Santa Rosa is on the defensive end, settling in a little bit more and trying to get the puck out more controlled. Right now, Wyoming's putting a lot of pressure on Santa Rosa in their end, and they were having trouble in the first period solving that. Shots on goal is 20 for the Wyoming Cowboys and 4 for Santa Rosa. It's been an entertaining hockey game right now. Both teams are playing really well offensively. And right off the bat, when I say that, 27, Hernandez, I think that's his second goal today. Picked it up at the blue line and did a nice job. But again, they screened him, Blaine, and Cornelius couldn't even see it. You could tell by his reaction he didn't see it at all.
4-1 Cowboys. 48 seconds in to the second period, and Santa Rosa's got to try and manufacture some offense. Only 4 shots on goal so far. Looks like they're going to get an opportunity here on the power play. But it hasn't felt like every time Wyoming's gone into the box, it felt like they've been on the power play, even though playing shorthanded. Got to take advantage here.
Yeah, Santa Rosa, this is the time to get back in this game. Hernandez, who scored the goal, interfered with one of the Santa Rosa players. But yeah, this is the time. If Santa Rosa is going to do it, this is the time to get back into it. Let's see, you're busy down there in between periods, Blaine, out there making sure everything's running well.
Oh yeah, all hands on deck when a little bit undermanned tonight. So sometimes you're out there doing some of the ice work to make sure everything's ready so these guys can go out and play. Because this is what it's all about, for them to go out and play some hockey. So I've got no problem doing a little bit of everything tonight. But yeah, I've been running around that entire 15-minute intermission for sure.
Yeah, I knew you weren't in the back with your feet up, kicking in the recliner and watching TV or anything like that. I knew that.
Shot there, blocked aside. Wyoming tries to clear their lines, picked up by Santa Rosa out from behind. Out just above the circles, passed around the boards. Wyoming picks it up, tries to send it down, and they do as they clear. A minute remaining on the power play for Santa Rosa. Penalty was by Hernandez as he sits in the box. Santa Rosa brings it in. Lovely little move there. Oh, just can't maintain the puck a little there. That was number 15. That was Brodeur there on the move. Opportunity here, shorthanded. Wyoming brings it down. Looks for a potential centering pass. Swings it around at the blue line. Back to Wells as he sends it down. 25 seconds remaining on the penalty kill for the Cowboys. Rister from the outside. Trying to see what they called there.
The gate came open on the Cowboys' entry to the locker room. So the referee noticed that and did a nice job of stopping the play instantly.
Good catch there. I did not see that. Goes to show where my eyes are going today. Wyoming wins the faceoff. Unable to keep it in as they send it back down. 15 seconds left on the penalty kill as they dump it back in. Pick it up, look for a centering pass as he comes around the net. Sends it out in front, just misses his teammate, and Santa Rosa picks it up, bringing it the other way with speed. It's Petrus. Petrus is Rister, sent aside. Petrus there, the other Petrus. They're on the same line. I can't keep track.
That's going to make it difficult.
Toby with the first pass and Jonah with the first shot that was set wide and high by Crawford.
One thing I think Santa Rosa could do, and I expect the coaches to pick this up, I think they're quicker than Wyoming, and I think they can utilize their speed a little bit, because on that one right there, they had a Santa Rosa player just sitting there at the blue line, hoping for a pass. It didn't come to him, but I think their speed, is that golf that just went in? Yep, he's a player you got to watch. That kid is quick.
Saved there by Cornelius as the net goes flying.
But like I was saying, I think Santa Rosa is realizing they are a little quicker, and I expect to see those long passes you were talking about, Blaine, in the first period. I think you're going to start seeing more of that. I think they're finally going to utilize, okay, we think we are faster than them, and so let's see if that'll work.
And so far, you've seen Santa Rosa take a couple more gambles, which has allowed Wyoming to get that opportunity right there out in front with Cornelius' save. But at least they're taking the chances down 3. You have nothing. You're playing with house money at this point now.
Yeah, they're going to have to start doing some things that they may not want to do, but yeah, they're going to have to try to figure out how to get back in this game, and that's the chance aspect of the game.
Wyoming brings it in here into their zone. Lovely little move. Looked like there was a potential trip there that didn't get called.
Cooper's another player for Wyoming that's all over the ice. He's really strong on his skates.
Stone picks it up behind the Wyoming net. Lovely little pass out to Cooper. Toe drag there. Oh, he got a little cheeky trying to get an opportunity away and gets poke checked by Santa Rosa.
He did. He had one of his fellow line mates wide open on the one. I think he was trying to get to him, but Santa Rosa did a nice job of closing in on him.
Sweeber was the one that dumps it in for Santa Rosa. Oh, top shelf there by Cooper. Opportunity at the circle. Takes his and beats Cornelius on the stick side, top shelf.
Well, what Cooper did really well on that one, he made the Santa Rosa defenseman commit. He did a nice little toe drag, and he actually passed it right back to himself, and he made the defenseman commit, and he went top shelf on Cornelius. And now they're going to change goaltenders. They got
Was that?
it looks like
Was
25.
Is it 35? I've got a 35 on here.
Well, it's 25.
Is it Merritt then?
Well, that's a good one. We're double checking this right now because their numbers aren't lining up on the player sheet.
I've got a Merritt. It
looks like Merritt.
Nope. Maybe you are right. A Barajas? Is that what you have on your end? Barajas. Yeah. I apologize if I'm botching that last name.
Well, that's what I was going to say, but Bras came in net. I don't know if they decided to try to see if they can get a spark or if something happened to Cornelius, but they definitely have to try something different, Blaine, like you were talking about a minute ago. They're going to have to open it up if they're going to get back in this game at all.
14:50 remaining in this one with the Cowboys controlling with a commanding 5-1 lead. As there's a big check there down on the boards. Sends out in front. Great poke check there by Barajas.
Well, you can tell Wyoming really counts on Goff and Hernandez and Cooper quite a bit for their offensive attack.
Swedlin there blocks his own teammate's shot. Gets himself his own little souvenir.
And Swedlin's another player that's caught my eye on this, too. He has a nonstop motor. So Wyoming has some good players on this team. Santa Rosa just has got to figure out how they can slow them down. And right now, if you've noticed in this game, the body hasn't really been used. Again, we've talked about this previously. That's another way you can slow them down and start taking the body more. I don't know if that's in Santa Rosa's game, but that's another way to try to slow these Cowboys down.
My question to you would be, even though that they're Santa Rosa's, from what I've seen, just like on the ice, they're a little bit of a smaller team in comparison to Wyoming. How do you utilize your body in that fashion when you're a little bit smaller? Are you just picking and choosing your moments a little bit more with the body? How do you go about that?
Actually, that helps you being a smaller team. You can get up underneath them, and while they're coming in, and you can take them out really, actually quite easy rather than an equal size team. So the size of Santa Rosa, if they do have a physical game, will work in their advantage just because they're a smaller club and they can really run interference on the Cowboys if they want to go that route.
Santa Rosa wins the faceoff as they send it around the boards. No, that's a very good insight, Gary. Because that would be my first instinct. Just when you're looking out on the ice, Wyoming's got some big bodies out there. So
yeah, they got some real big players for Wyoming, but that's where you can get up underneath them and tuck in, like right there.
Sanders
decided to take Hill on a Hill, or is that Hill? No, that's
Barbara. I think
yeah,
it was.
But he went down low and went up. As soon as he made contact, he went up and it worked on him. He slowed the Cowboy down.
Saved there by Barajas as he covers it up. 13:26 remaining here in the second period.
And now you can start seeing Santa Rosa's kind of getting somewhat frustrated. They're taking some extra shots now, and that's pure frustration on their part, just because they can't quite figure out how to really beat Cornelius. But Keogh is the one that took some extra liberties on Wyoming, so we got to keep an eye on that to see how much of the frustration is going to play into the second period.
Santa Rosa dumps it in, gives chase. Able to maintain the puck out in front. Petrus with a shot that was blocked there. Oh, great little poke check there by Petrus to get it back. Opportunity, he scores. That's his second of the night. Lovely little poke check. Didn't give up after the first opportunity. Goes begging. Picks Wyoming's pocket and beats Crawford on the glove side. It is now 13:06 remaining. Cowboys 5, Santa Rosa 2.
Definitely a smart play by Petrus, but he caught our eye at the start of this game, and he's nonstop. Was that Toby that got that one?
Yep, that was Toby. Yeah. I think Toby's gotten both of them, from what I believe.
Toby's all over there. I see someone that I caught. I'm trying to find. I'm assuming they're going to be brothers. Hope I'm assuming right.
Toby and Jonah?
Yeah.
I would assume so. But Toby's he's quick, very quick out there on the ice. And
really.
It's a gear that I haven't seen anybody else hit tonight.
Yeah, he's real smooth on his skates, and he knows exactly what he wants to do. But we were talking about, the size difference and how Santa Rosa can go up underneath and attack that. Now, that's easier said than done because Wyoming has some big fellas, but if they want to go that route, they could really slow down Wyoming doing that.
Face-off picked up by Santa Rosa as they try to clear. Sent back around by the Cowboys. Weber picks it up. Poke check there by Swedlund as he has it. Centering pass there. Barajas was able to smother it, though, with Swedlund's centering pass. It feels like the Cowboys are relentless right now. Even though when they have no problem if they're going to give up a goal or two because they feel like that they're just going to be dictating play throughout, which allows them to be a little bit more open and play with a little bit more freedom. That's what I've seen so far.
Well, and that's an excellent point you just brought up. I don't think their goals against bothers them at all. They haven't slowed down at all. You couldn't tell me by watching them they just gave up a goal. They just keep on attacking. And Crawford's done a pretty good job right now for coming in cold, how he had to.
Yeah, only facing the 11 shot. Sometimes it's even harder for a net minor is when you're kind of sitting back there a little bit with your team on the offensive and then you're getting less opportunities and they're kind of sporadic, so to speak. So,
well, especially since you don't anticipate getting in the game at the start, and then all of a sudden you're called in off the bench. That's really hard to get yourself warmed up. But right now, he's done a nice job. But it'll be interesting with Santa Rosa if they can get the next goal of just how much pressure they'll put on Wyoming.
backhand there, saved by Barajas. Centering pass. Cowboys are able to keep it in. Flashed in behind Barajas' net. I don't know what happened here. They're calling a net issue, looks like.
I'm with you. I think the net came off the mooring. But one thing I've noticed with Wyoming, their defensemen, they all think offense. Every single one of them. I notice they're just attack. And usually you don't see all defensemen offensive minded, but right now Wyoming definitely seems like all of their defensemen like to go in and do some offensive moves.
Stone wins the faceoff. Pass back door. Finds Cooper. And Cooper finishes once again. Lovely little pass. Finds Cooper back door. Barajas, no chance to stop that one. It is 6-2 Cowboys.
No, that was Will Yates that set that up. He did a really nice job of actually deking two Santa Rosa players and he was looking for that pass the whole time. And nice job by him. He set that goal up. Excellent job by Wyoming. They didn't say, again, they're not stopping. Their offense is constantly going. No slowdown in the Cowboys club at all.
10:20 remaining here as we're about halfway through the second period. Cowboys 6, Santa Rosa 2.
So that's what I'm talking about. That's Cooper. Now he's a defenseman. He took it all the way from his blue line all the way into Santa Rosa's end. So that's their mindset. Obviously, the defensemen for Wyoming, they're going to attack any chance they get.
And that's something that we saw, again, like we mentioned earlier with Montana and Utah, the interchange, right? That there's no problem with these guys coming to defense and playing offense and seeing that offense from the centers forwards dropping back as a defenseman.
The only difference I could at all think of, like with Montana or Utah with Wyoming, is all their defensemen go in.
Right.
It's just not, one or two. They all do, and that's rare. You see that many defensemen offensive-minded throughout their whole ranks, and I think they got 6 defensemen out in their lineup tonight, and all of them, they all attack.
Swedlin's wrister served there by Barajas as he's able to cover up the rebound.
And that's really difficult, like what you were talking about, how they interchange, is because if you're Santa Rosa, you're thinking, oh, yeah, defense is not going to do that often. They're constantly doing it. That can really throw you off. And that might be what's hampering Santa Rosa getting out of their end with 9:17 left. They're going to have to figure out something really quick.
Zweber sends it around the boards. Picked up by Swedlin. His wrister once again. He's been everywhere, Swedlin. I think I've called his name numerous times.
Constantly. He has only one gear, and that's go. That's it.
Opportunity out in front. Cooter buries it, and it's 7-2 Wyoming.
It took a weird bounce. Cooter was actually in the middle of the slot and just came on a stick, and he did a nice job of pumping it in on Crawford. But Wyoming is just
relentless.
Just a ton of pressure on Santa Rosa right now.
Cornelius trying to rally the troops from his bench a little bit there, just to give Santa Rosa anything. And when it gets out of hand a little, and it feels like the game is almost in control already with 8.5 remaining only in the second period, how do you keep yourself locked in now with mini victories and stuff like that?
Well, now what you do if you're Santa Rosa, you just throw the book out on what your game plan was and start taking some major chances and doing some things out of your comfort zone. See if you can slow Wyoming down. But anybody that plays Wyoming, they have got to be aware of these D-men. They're just constantly in the offensive zone. Like right now, they got 4 players for Wyoming attacking. Mills is the only defenseman out on the line, and that's definitely their game. Wyoming, they're going to flood 4 people in. There's absolutely no question in my mind, and every one of their defensemen are looking to go in and being that 4th guy, and so they're going to be a handful for teams if they don't watch their D-men.
7:53 remaining here in the second period.
7-2 is a big mountain to climb for Santa Rosa right now, unless they start changing some things.
Slap shot from out top. Goff pushed his leg save there by Barajas as it's passed around the boards by Wyoming. Santa Rosa picks it up. It's Brodeur who has it, brings it back his end, tries to find his teammate. Wyoming able to pick their pocket again in their zone and keeps it in there.
You know, it'd be interesting, Blaine, if we could look this up sometime this weekend. I would be curious to see if a lot of Wyoming's defensemen haven't played forward or center before, because how they're playing, they're not missing a beat on what they want to do on the offensive zone, which would tell me at one time or another they all played up front and for whatever reason shifted to the defensive side. But, man, all their defensemen, like I keep saying, is they just attack.
Stretch pass there. Opportunity, good block there by Brodeur, as that was Bila who had an opportunity. Sent back down, and that'll be an icing. 6:45 remaining here. Cowboys 7, Santa Rosa 2.
I've been thoroughly impressed with the defensive play by actually their offensive play by the defensemen. See, it's just so out of character for teams to have all their defensemen attack in the zone.
Well, look, they got all 4 guys up at the blue line there, and they have their 1 defenseman drop. And then the only time that that second defenseman really drops is when they're trying to get control of the puck and almost dictate their offense again from the back. Otherwise, it's only a 1 guy, which is honestly why the 2 goals have really been given up. And Santa Rosa is taking advantage of those 2 opportunities.
They even play that way in the neutral zone. They'll flood 4 guys up and they'll float their 1 defenseman in the middle. And that's clogging Santa Rosa up from when they were trying to earlier spread out Wyoming and do some stretch passes. But there's no question Wyoming definitely likes that 4-1 offensive style, especially even on defense. They're constantly looking at how they're going to attack.
Santa Rosa wins the faceoff. Mills picks it up in the neutral zone.
So if you look right there, they had only 1 defenseman back and all 4 guys were up front.
Barajas covers it up.
And that's where Santa Rosa, if they want to change that, now they're going to have to take that gamble, spread them out, and do some long passes to try to get them to get back to having 2 defensemen. Because right now, 4-on-1, that's tough to beat in the defensive zone.
And I feel like that's kind of caught Santa Rosa off guard. Is that how much they're flooding towards as an offensive attacking unit? And even though they're giving pressure, they're still having 4 guys up top and really looking to press and get instant possession with the puck again.
Yeah, you saw Wyoming start to go to that system late in the first period, and they came out starting the period in that format, and it's worked really well for them.
Swedlin picks it up for the Cowboys as he brings it into the neutral zone. Gives it to Mills as he brings it in. Pass out in front. Shot just goes wide there. Swedlin has it again. Looks for a centering pass. Pushed aside there. That was Petrus, I believe. The nice little poke check. Swedlin picks it up at neutral zone. Dumped back in. Santa Rosa picks it up. But you're right. Santa Rosa is really looking for that stretch pass to try and give themselves that opportunity. But with how many guys, Wyoming Cowboys, they have to try and pass it through with that 4 men up top, it's almost become impossible.
Yeah, but what they need to do is spread the ice more. They're bunched in and trying to look for that stretch pass, and that won't work. You're going to have to try to get Wyoming spread out, and then you kick like right there. If they had a winger up there, they could have got that pass in because they spread themselves out more. And the way Wyoming's playing, that's the only way you're going to really solve that problem is stretch them out and basically cherry pick that blue line and try to get some breaks that way.
Wyoming picks it up in their defensive zone as they continue to probe. Cooper comes in with loads of speed. Deep there, unable to convert. Just lost the puck at the last second.
He is so quick.
He picked that up right at his circle.
And he's constantly looking to attack. You don't see him sitting back. And he's a good enough skater where he can play that style. And Santa Rosa is having trouble picking him up, along with a couple of the other players.
Missed opportunity here. Santa Rosa with an opportunity one-on-one with the netminer. Unable, misses it wide. That was Trott with the opportunity on Crawford. Just couldn't get the connection he was looking for on the backhand.
And Fernland's the one that really created that. Even though he was behind the skater, he rode him off, and that gave the goaltender a lot of opportunity to get himself into play. And now we got a penalty for Santa Rosa, and that's definitely what they don't need.
It was looked like a frustration cross check there.
Yep. I gotta concur with that one. Nice job on that one, Blaine.
That was late. Just not used to. That's a scoreboard look and be like, I am not having it today.
You were talking about also how you can try to beat what Santa Rosa may try to do is quick shift. See if they can catch Wyoming off guard with having four guys up so close and one defensive back. If you quick shift it, you might be able to catch them off guard and get a few breaks.
And that was Hendrickson with the penalty there. Wyoming wins the face-off. Santa Rosa has it and clears. Wyoming picks it up just behind their own net, trying to set up their power play attack. So look for the little stretch pass. Mills sends it in the middle, brought in. Cowboys have it, and they regroup. Swings it around. Mills has it. He sends it down to the circle. Back out to Mills. Wrister out in front, deflected. Barajas was able to poke check that away. Mills picks it back up at the blue line. Looks like there's going to be a penalty here on the Cowboys.
Cooter, I think, is going in or if not him, he was definitely disagreeing with the call.
I think it is Cooter. It looked like he lost his stick there for a second, and he retaliated after that stick. So I don't know if he was retaliating on, like, he thought he got slashed. That's what it looked like from my point of view. And then he was as the second man, you're always the one that gets caught.
Or he was mad at himself and he took it out on one of the two.
2:21 remaining in the second period. We're going to have some 4-on-4 hockey for the next minute 8.
That's going to be a trip.
Excuse me. It's going to be a 4-on-3 hockey power play for Santa Rosa. Is there a trip there?
He might get a double minor for this one. He had a trip. There's no question about it.
That was Goff.
And Goff came in and gave a shoulder after the whistle.
On Petrus.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting if they get him on two of them. They got it. They got a slash.
Looks like they're holding up a 4. But it will be a double minor. Good call there, Gary.
Well, it was pretty blatant. Open eyes gave the shoulder. It's like, geez, come on, Goff. You're smarter than that. But what I saw Santa Rosa doing really well was they were doing a 1-1-2 on their penalty kill, and they almost got some offensive opportunities by doing that style. We'll see if they continue using that when they're shorthanded next time.
Sweeber's missed pass makes Broder go back and regroup as 4-on-3 hockey. This is a must convert opportunity for Santa Rosa. Petrus comes in with speed. Lovely move. Late poke check there by Mills. As Weaver picks it up, passes it back down to Petrus. About 30 seconds remaining on the 4-on-3. Then it's going to be a 5-on-3 for Santa Rosa. Miscue on the pass. Wyoming sends it all the way down. 18 seconds on the Santa Rosa penalty before it becomes a 5-on-3. A minute 15 remaining in the second period. Gary, okay, give me your thoughts going into this second intermission. Wyoming, you can't, I feel like you're just playing with house money now. You don't change a thing, and it feels like for Santa Rosa, just start tinkering with some things to get you prepared for these other couple games this weekend in the showcase.
Yeah, I'm with you. Wyoming, I wouldn't change a darn thing that they're doing. Santa Rosa still may want to come out and try to spread Wyoming out, use the body a little bit to their advantage, and try to go more of a wide open game, because with Petrus, you can do that. He's an extremely talented hockey player, and just take some gambles that way. Go in like what you were saying, Blaine. Try some things differently that you've thought about doing that you haven't done yet. Mix it up on them. See if you can get Wyoming off guard a little bit.
Well, especially when you have also, they're going to get a practice skate in tomorrow morning. Then I believe they play Eastern tomorrow night, if I remember correctly, the schedule of the showcase. Then you have one more game on Saturday for Santa Rosa. You got to take advantage and almost treat this as an opportunity to get some ice time and start tinkering. I really do believe that.
Yeah, and I like what you're saying. They do need to tinker because right now their game plan wasn't working for them when they first came in. Wyoming did a really good job of attacking. I don't think anybody anticipated their defense would then attack that much. Now's the time to go ahead and gamble. You really, down 7-2, you have absolutely nothing to lose. Work on for your next couple games that you're going to play up here.
A couple seconds remaining in this second period. There it is. There's coming into that third period. There will be a minute 50 power play for Santa Rosa. Second intermission begins now. Wyoming 7, Santa Rosa 2. Stay tuned. They're bringing it around the net. Oh, so much for our clean technical difficulties.
Way to knock on wood, Blaine. Way to go. Nice job.
Oh, my gosh.
We just discovered another one. We're sorry about that, folks. I guess the mic was muted and was not showing that it was muted.
You can just blame Blaine Spencer for that, your play-by-play commentator. Gave you the jinx within 2 minutes of malfunction. I should have just stayed down running ops at this point.
It's the first game, you know. I mean, there's 13 games here.
Work out every little
That's right. Whoa,
big hit in the slot there. A little sportsmanship by both guys.
Yeah, you got to give the Wyoming Cowboy credit on that. He got blown up.
Trot layered the hammer there.
And that was one hellacious hit. And so nice job by Furlan of showing some class on that one. He came up, tapped him. He goes, yeah, nice hit. And maybe Santa Rosa, we talked about it in the first period also, Blaine, is maybe they'll go to the body a little bit more, see if that'll slow down Wyoming.
Wyoming centering pass there just misses in the slot there. Brought back in by Santa Rosa. Opportunity there, just loses the puck. And that's Zweber's down, and that was just, looks like he's a little bit shaken up as well, but
definitely took it in the upper body.
He's holding that shoulder a little bit there. Petrus picks his pocket there. Opportunity. Oh, great. That was a great recovery poke check there. I think that was Cooter that made a last-second poke check on Petrus. Coming back down. Great glove save there by Barajas. Snared that one.
That was definitely going on the top shelf on Barajas. Nice job. Nice glove hand by him. But they look like they're settling in a little bit more. I was surprised on that one there. Petrus had a wide open, and he just rolled off of his stick, or he was going to bury that in the net.
As Petrus, he's also on going for a hat trick as well. Those first two. Sent back down, because that's going to be icing coming back the other way.
He is such a talented hockey player.
His brother has played quite well as well. Jonah, he's more of a. It's interesting how they've worked together really well on that line. As Jonah's the defenseman there, and you have Toby up at center. Even though Toby's on that little bit plays in between those first and second line a little bit, but Jonah with being on that second line, that brotherly connection.
Yeah, they feed off each other really well. They know each other's style. They've probably been playing since they were like 4 years old together, so they know exactly what each one's going to do.
Wyoming brings it back in. They look for an opportunity to add another one. Able to keep it in. Picked up by Santa Rosa in the neutral zone. Wyoming dumps it down with Cooper.
You got to give Wyoming credit, man. They just go, go, go. They do not slow down one bit. Now they're back to a traditional 3-2, but they're slide that one defenseman into the top slot looking for that shot. That's that down low they like to do.
Rojas double checks, make sure he made that quick little save on the deflection there.
Rojas knew that he stopped it, but he wasn't sure if it trickled in or not between the 5-hole. But you got to tip your hat to Wyoming, and their defensemen are always constantly flowing, looking to attack. They do not slow down.
We're looking for Cooter there out in front. Poke check the side by Santa Rosa. As I was running around during this intermission, I was down behind getting everything set up for potentially the next game as well with Eastern. But Cooper came out to put his stick out by the chute. And I can tell you, he is a big dude up close. He towered over me. And I think I'm a decently tall guy around. But he's a freight train up close.
Well, you can see it in his style of play. He'll run over you if you're in the way.
Wyoming picks it up in the neutral zone. Swedlin has it. Oh, great poke check there. That was by Jonah Petrus as he swung back around. Santa Rosa tries to set their lines. Picked off there. Wyoming out in the slot, opportunity deflected just wide. That was Bila who picked Santa Rosa's pocket and had the opportunity there.
Now, you've noticed the last couple times Santa Rosa decided to lay the body on with their size we talked about, they tucked up underneath and went and drove the player and got a nice body check. 3 times they did that. Worked really well for them.
Oh, Bila, lovely little move there. Barajas up to the challenge. But that's like a leverage play right there. Like
totally.
how you were talking about earlier. Like get up underneath, use your leverage against them, especially with Wyoming being a definitely bigger squad.
Well, at the very least, you're slowing them down.
Right.
That's what you're hoping to do. And if you knock them down, that's for you. But you're just trying to slow them down and see if you can make a transition and get an offensive attack that way. And Santa Rosa started to do that. Now they kind of stopped that. So I don't know if it's in their game plan or not.
It's about 11:40 remaining here. Petrus brings it in. Center pass just misses. As Wyoming brings it back in. Sends it on Bras as he pushes it aside. Brodeur has it behind his own net. Centering pass was looking for Petrus. No touch by Toby there, and it's going to be an icing.
This is a great way to start off the Eagles showcase, so there's no question about it. Both teams are playing hard, even though you could say Wyoming's kind of dominated, but San Jose, they haven't quit. Santa Rosa is still battling them. They haven't stopped, slowed down at all. They just have to adjust a little bit to see if they can counteract the speed of Wyoming.
Cooper has it, sends it down. Centering pass just misses. Sends back out to the neutral zone as Cooper has it.
And I must apologize out there. Sometimes I'll slip and say San Jose when it's Santa Rosa, but San Jose was just recently up here, so that's why I'm getting clogged up a little bit. So I apologize for anyone out there.
Come on, Gary. I'm from Northern California. We can't be having those little slip-ups.
Well,
they're offended when you say stuff like that.
I thought you'd correct me, and then I just caught myself.
Nope,
again.
I was going to let you drown.
Oh, mackerel. I was counting on you, Blaine. You let me down.
I'll be ready for the next one. I'll save you.
Utah Valley in the Eastern, you can't mess that up. I mean, you just can't. I mean, even I can't do that.
Oh, my goodness. We're having a good time.
You're killing me, Blaine, right now. You're just killing me. Now watch, I'll forget to add Valley and Utah next game. Yeah, I'm going to blame you. I'm going to blame you if I do that.
What, as you brought up Utah Valley versus Eastern, what do you want to see in that matchup coming up?
I want to see Eastern play their wide open style, their anticipatory hockey, and do some stretch passes. Because last week against the Montana Grizzlies, they were way too bunched in, too compact. They were almost robotic in that second game. And if they play wide open like they can and attack, they'll be fine. Utah Valley will have their hands full.
I saw them practice this morning. They got a lot of bodies. They're very deep from what I saw. So that'd be intriguing to see how deep their bench actually goes.
If I remember last year, Utah Valley liked to use their speed. Now, I don't know how they are this year. I haven't seen them. But I know last year they really counted on their speed a lot.
That's going to be a trip there by Toby Petrus. It looks like as he's going to head into the box there. No, it's going to be truly interesting, especially with Eastern this year for us, as we've been calling these games, that feels like it's a tale of two teams,
It
right?
is.
That first game, they come out with a different intensity. They play great, even if they don't end up winning that game. They're right there. And then that second game feels like the team, well, it's a showcase, so they're not going to play the same team twice, but feels like in that second game, a team makes an adjustment on them, and they haven't been able to throw a counter punch, if it's felt like.
Well, one thing Eastern has a tendency all year this year to go into a shell during that second period. And that's what's really been hurting them. Rather than their wide open style, which they are a handful when they play that way, but they seem to get into this box, slow down, methodical process, and it just hasn't worked for them.
No, I agree. That second period has been a period to forget for the Eagles this year. As there's about minute 45 here on the Petrus penalty. Barajas, though, has played quite well since getting called off the bench there.
He's played extremely well. He started off that way, and so kudos to him. That is hard to do.
Rister goes wide there. That was a shot sent in by Stone. Swings it back around. Centering pass. Yates had an opportunity, and Wyoming scores. I don't know who was able to get the finishing touch. It looked like it was a rebound there.
Well, it kind of trickled behind Bras. He made the initial save, and he didn't smother, which he was trying to do, and it just kind of trickled, like I said, and got behind him.
Are they going to give that one to Yates? I don't know. I know Yates took the initial shot, so I don't know if...
Well, it'd have to be his goal because that's the only one I saw that when it went off of Braha. So,
well, power play goal. It looks like it was to Yates. It's now 8-3 Wyoming, and immediately right on top of Santa Rosa once again.
But see, I'm finding it interesting now in this period. What Wyoming's done is they've changed. And
they have.
They're going to the traditional 3-2 lineup. They're not sending in that defense one like they did the first two periods. And I think if you're going to counteract that, now you got to go back to a traditional style of play. So good job by the coaching staff from Wyoming to change up, especially since they got a big lead and they're still experimenting out there. That's a nice coaching job.
And it feels like they're still attacking, but it's more of a probe style. They're actually kind of working some offense in there, not immediately full on top of Santa Rosa, trying to be more methodical, maybe like you said, tinkering some things.
Well, that's a good
for the
way
next
to word
couple
it.
Games.
They're pacing themselves now. They're more of a control game. In the first two periods, they were wide open. Now they went back to traditional, close, tight, positional hockey, and that you got to give kudos to the coach for doing that in the third period right now, because he must be trying some things out differently too to see how it would work. So kudos to him.
Shot wrister there was saved by Barajas.
Because a lot of coaches would just stay the same, and why not? You got now it's 8-3. You had a big lead, so why not try something different? See, get ready for tomorrow's game.
I believe they're taking on the Utah Valley tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Swedlin there with the wrister in the slot. Pushed aside by Barajas. Back to Swedlin out in front. Sends it just wide.
Let's see, they're doing that high-low game where they get to float that one, either a forward or centerman. Right now he's sliding into the top of the shelf on the slot, and that's a nice job because you're not picking him up, and he's just having his way in the middle.
Opportunity, Barajas had save there. Another stop by Barajas.
But he has played well. Barajas has played well, even though that one goal he'd like to have back. He's played a solid net tonight.
Looks like we're going to have a delayed penalty here.
We've got some skirmishes, and I'm not sure. Swedlin was involved. one of the players. I don't know who the Santa Rosa player was, but Swedlin's definitely was going.
And he did not take exception to that because he retaliated as soon as he took that.
And they're only going to go against the Santa Rosa player in the box.
It is going to be Jonah Petrus is the one that's going to be taking a seat. 6:37 remaining here in the final period. Wyoming on the power play.
Now it'll be interesting to see how Wyoming attacks this now that they have the man advantage, if they're going to go back and flood with 4 players or stay a traditional style.
Looks like they're definitely running more of a set here with Cooper and Stone as the 2 focal points of the power play for sure. Cooper just couldn't corral it in the neutral zone, but it looked like they had the 3 trailers that he was looking to leave it off as soon as he entered the blue line.
But again, it's these little things that Wyoming's do, the little adjustments. That's what's impressive.
Wyoming's able to keep it in there. Up by the circle. Santa Rosa is able to clear and send it back down.
Hernandez wants another goal bad tonight because he's been on the scoreboard, but he's constantly pushing himself.
Cooper brings it in for the Cowboys. Lovely little move there. Another lovely move. Tries to wrap it around. Leaves it. Continues to probe.
See, there they try to slide that defenseman in, try to catch Santa Rosa off guard.
You know who Cooper reminds me of that we've seen this year? A great save there by Bras. Seekins from UCSD. The way that style of play, effortless speed. Yeah. Cooper is definitely bigger than what Seekins' frame, but very similar style of play, all over the ice.
Yeah, now that you mentioned, there's a lot of similarities in their game.
From watching how that last play that he made 2 in and out moves to continue to maintain the puck. That was something that Seekins was doing a lot for UCSD in that the Pac-8 showcase.
He's really smooth on his skates. No choppiness at all.
Wyoming's able to keep it in. So the power play is just about to come to an end here.
See, and I keep getting the feeling with Wyoming, they're a team right now. They're playing finesse hockey, but they strike me as a team. If you wanted to get physical, they'll play that style too if you want, because they got some bangers out there, and every once in a while they'll show it. Right now they're not. They don't have to because the finesse game's working for them. But yeah, I get a feeling like they can be real physical if they want to.
That was some good sportsmanship there with Jonah Petrus, who just came out of the box, went over to Swedlin, said that was my bad. Sportsmanship's been on full display between these 2 teams.
Yeah, it's been very impressive.
Especially in the middle of a game, in the heat of battle, right? So
yeah, you don't see that often. You don't see that often at all.
It's about 4 minutes remaining in this one with the Cowboys leading 8-3. Swedlin has it and brings it back in for Wyoming. Has it up by the circle. Centering pass there. Just misses Bila. Swedlin picks it right back up. Centering pass. Bila pushes it wide. Looking for Swedlin out in front. Swedlin has it. Unable to corral it just in time. Centering pass again. Looking for Hart there.
Wyoming does a nice job of a triangle game in the middle of the slot, which is interesting to me that they do that. They do a real nice job of cycling.
So that was an opportunity there for Santa Rosa, and Crawford makes a quick stop there.
Crawford's been a wall for Wyoming right now. He's made some really, really nice saves for them.
Yeah, I believe that was Vors with the shot there. as he has it now. Swings it out around the, looking for a potential centering pass. Santa Rosa continues to probe. Lovely little pass there. Petrus has it. Blocked there by the Wyoming.
Now, that's what Santa Rosa should have done at the start. They were working behind the net extremely well, and they're looking for that open guy to slide into the slot area. And they had Wyoming chasing them. I'm wondering where that part of their game's been for 2.5 periods, because they looked really sharp doing that.
Yeah, a completely different look that we've seen from them, especially in the second half of the third period, for sure. Out in front, that was Vors who sends it high. Looked like he had a great opportunity to finish. Just misses there. Delayed offsides there. Santa Rosa able to pick it back up. It's about 2 minutes remaining here in the third period. I'm telling you, Gary, I think Wyoming, I know we went through their record a little bit earlier. I think Wyoming is going to be a pretty tough out this weekend, just from what we've seen in this one.
They've been very impressive, just how they move, and they got a lot of speed. Their defense, but they love to play offense, so they're going to give teams problems this weekend.
Barajas covers it up with 1:35 remaining.
Yeah, it's a different style Wyoming plays, especially with their D men. Constantly thinking of offense on that one. That can really cause you some difficulty if you've never really seen it. And I haven't seen that many defenses move in so much in the last couple, 2-3 years. So they're going to be tough to corral.
Santa Rosa has it with Weaver. His shot goes wide. Another opportunity goes wide for Santa Rosa. Cooper has it in the neutral zone. Stone gives it right back to Cooper. Deke there. Toe drag there. Opportunity. How did Barajas keep that one out? I don't even think he realized that he was able to keep it out.
I'll tell you one thing I've been really impressed with is Cornelius. Even though he got pulled, he is constantly in this game. He's banging on the boards, trying to give encouragement to his teammates. And that's a class act by him.
Head never went down, even though he was pulled, right? So that's character.
It is, because he has not sat down. He keeps banging on the boards, trying to. And when the players are coming in, he's talking to them. You don't see that a lot of times when you get pulled in a game.
Great block there by Santa Rosa. Opportunity out in front. Backhand there. Barajas covers with just about 20 seconds remaining.
Even playing the traditional style now, the way Wyoming is, what they've done really well is they're making Santa Rosa chase the puck rather than playing positional. They're making them chase it, and they've gotten a lot of opportunities off of that style. Then we got about 20 seconds left going in on here.
Swedlund has it. Nope, going to be a delayed. I don't know what was getting called here.
I think they're going to probably go with a trip, it looked like.
Yeah, it looks
or
like
an interference.
Looks like Biela's going in for the last 12 seconds.
He gets 12 seconds to reflect on what happened on the phone. So.
Before he takes the showers.
Quick turnaround on the reflection time. You can't even feel shame in 12 seconds. So he got a break on getting that penalty this time of game.
He's still trying to process what even happened.
That's
in those
right.
12 seconds. Wyoming sends it around the board. Santa Rosa is able to keep it in. Dumps it out in front. It's going to stay there, and that is all she wrote at the Eastern Washington University Rec Center. in game 1 of 13. Game 1 of 13 in the Eagles Nest Showcase. It's going to end here. Wyoming 8, Santa Rosa 3.
I'm interested to see how we're going to sound Sunday with that many games.
Well, look, I'm on break after this one. So if Gary Allen will be on the next call for Eastern versus Utah Valley at 7 o'clock, it'll be Gary and Tyler Pisani on that call. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Tune in for the next one.